Welcome to Momatize Your Passion, a podcast for moms looking to turn their passions into online brands that serve others. I'm Tara Lon, a content strategist with over 10 years of experience creating viral content seen by millions. I'm here to help you grow your brand and reach the people God has called you to serve. Welcome to the show. Hello again. So in today's episode, I'm going to talk about 8 ways that community builds brand growth. So this is something that has been foundational to my journey for over 11 years when I first started my brand, Tinseltown Mom. So when I first started, I joined community early on, whether that was a Facebook group, a Twitter group back in the day. I belonged to all types of networking circles, faith-based communities, you name it, I was a part of it. So those communities helped to expand my reach organically over the years. And through those relationships, I gained referrals, leads, jobs, clients, event opportunities, media features, interviews, collaborations, and genuine friendships because I didn't grow alone. The online space can be very lonely, but having a community not only helps to build your brand, but also your perspective. So today I'm going to share 8 ways that being in a community builds brand growth. And this is whether you're joining a community or leading one. All right, let's get into it. So the first way that community builds brand growth is that it expands your perspective. So this is about expanding how you think. When you build alone, your ideas are limited to what you know, what you've seen, and what you've tried. But when you're in the right room, your thinking stretches. You see new systems, you hear new strategies, you learn what's possible. And then you realize that there's other ways to do things. And I know that's happened for me over the years. How many times have you adjusted course because someone mentioned a better system, or maybe someone shared their journey and it helped you to rethink your approach? That's perspective expansion. So for example, maybe you thought the only way to grow was posting daily, but then maybe someone in the community shared how they focus on SEO and long form content. And then suddenly you realize that there is another way. So being in the right space with the right people can completely shift how you see your options. And I know that's happened to me over the years in several instances. So the second way that community can build brand growth is that it accelerates clarity. And clarity is just about sharpening your message. So when you're in a community, it actually makes you look at what you're actually offering and what you're doing, because people give you feedback in real time. They ask you questions about your brand. You have to think on your feet. So for example, you think your brand is about helping women live intentionally, but inside of a community, maybe women are consistently responding when you talk about visibility or online growth, and then that feedback helps clarify your message. Or maybe someone asked a question inside of the group and then you realize, oh, wow, I have strong thoughts on that too. And maybe that's something that you're actually passionate about and you didn't realize. That's called clarity. So clarity helps to narrow your focus, which ultimately helps to grow your brand because your ideal audience will be able to find you. The third way community builds brand growth is that it builds confidence. So confidence actually grows when you see other people trying, failing, learning, and growing. You realize you're not behind. You realize that you're not crazy. You're not the only one trying to figure it out. So for example, let's say you're nervous to go live. And then let's say there's someone in the group who was also nervous, but they went live anyway and they talked about their success. Or maybe they talked about their failure, but it helped them to get better at going live. Community helps with that. It builds your confidence. It encourages you to keep going. And ultimately, when your confidence is built, that also builds brand growth because you're then better able to share your message with the right people. And again, they can find you better. The fourth way that community builds brand growth is that it creates longevity. And when I say longevity, I am not talking about algorithm changes or platform shifts. Relationships can last for years. Even though things are always changing around us, especially online, if Instagram disappeared today, how would people find you? How would they know how to follow you? But if you build a solid community, people can still follow you because they're in your circle of influence. You can let them know where you are. You can actually forge deep relationships where they're not just on social media. So longevity is about building depth and not just reach. So when you are in a community, you actually build genuine connection, because that connection is deeper than social media or online visibility, et cetera, because longevity is about building depth, not just reach. So the fifth way community builds brand growth is that it builds genuine connection. So this is the relational component of being in a community, because it goes much deeper than just visibility. Visibility is being seen, but connection is actually being known. So inside of a community, you share ideas, you DM each other, you collaborate, you pray for each other, and that turns into referrals, partnerships, and even income. I've gotten so many different leads and opportunities from being in a community, and it turns into opportunity for that other person too. Even if someone is buying something from you, is something that they need, so it's going to help them in the long run. So because community allows you to showcase your expertise, you're able to help so many more people. So the sixth way that community builds brand growth is that it allows you to showcase your expertise. So whether you are leading a group or participating in one, you can consistently give your thoughtful responses, you can help, you can give your input, you can showcase your expertise. And the more people see that you are genuinely trying to help with your knowledge and your wisdom, the more that you build up your authority. And the more that you build up your authority, the more connections, again, leads, prospects, customers, etc., the more people that you can actually help, and you are actually building your brand because you are showing your expertise to more people, because it's a snowball effect. When you are positioning yourself as the leader, more people are going to want to follow you, refer you, collaborate with you, plus so much more. So the seventh way that community builds brand growth is that it fosters relationships that open doors. And a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about today, some of it is interchangeable with other things that I've shared, but this is very, very important, because community opens up doors that you probably wouldn't even realize, because relationships turn into podcast invitations, webinar collaborations, event speaking, referrals, you name it. And when you're in a community, people are more prone to reach out to you for these types of things because you've proven yourself in the community. It's not just like a cold lead. You're actually building a relationship. So people are more apt to reach out to you because of these types of collaborations. So maybe you find people who can be in your summit because you see that they've shared their knowledge over the months and you picture them and you're in the same group, and then it's just natural. So you do want to be active in your community, whatever community you decide to show up in. It's not just to be passive, but it's to be active and to share and to encourage and to pray for and to experience that growth together. The eighth way that community builds brand growth is that it creates accountability and consistency. I know even in my group, the one that I lead, we set goals for ourselves. So people are going to want to reach their goals if they know they're going to show up and have to talk about it. That's accountability, and that keeps you consistent. So community really keeps you from disappearing. If you have a passion that you're working on and you're inside of a group, you're less likely to put that on the back burner because you know you have other people in the group who may be counting on you or holding you accountable for things. And that consistency builds trust, and trust builds brand growth. So just to recap, 8 ways that community builds brand growth is: number 1, it expands your perspective. Number 2, it accelerates clarity. Number 3, it builds confidence. Number 4, it creates longevity. Number 5, it builds genuine connection. Number 6, it allows you to showcase your expertise. Number 7, it fosters relationships that open doors. And number 8, community creates accountability and consistency. So I cannot say enough about being in a community and how it helps with your brand growth. That was just 8 things that I thought about, but there are so many other ways that community builds brand growth. If you are a Christian woman and you want to belong to a community, I have 2 ways for you to belong. So 1, I just started a new Facebook group for Christian women wanting to build their online brand. In the Facebook group, which is completely free, I give tips on SEO strategies, marketing organically, plus so much more. If you're interested, I have a link in the show notes. You can go ahead and join. And then the second way is through my private membership, which I have mentioned before. Inside my community, Passion to Purpose Collective, I go much deeper than the Facebook group. I give live coaching, live trainings. We support one another on a deeper level. And it's just a great time to get some in-depth knowledge on growing your brand. If that sounds like a better fit, go ahead and fill out that interest form and maybe we'll see you in the community. All right. Thank you so much for listening today. If you got value from this episode and you know of someone else who could use this, would you do me a favor and share this with her? My platform is not only meant to be a blessing, but it's meant to encourage you to pursue your God-led passions so you can make a positive difference in the world. Until next time.